What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I just want to give everyone an update as to what is going on with the Legacy. This update is being filmed before I actually posted the video of, the wrecked Legacy. So whatever you guys suggested, I'm kind of just going with my own guts and my own tuition and all that. So we'll see. Either that video, everyone's going to call me an idiot, or they're going to be like, man, that sucks. I don't know. We'll find out. I've been busy, believe it or not. I've been a little bit busy. The neighborhood dog is losing his shit. But basically, garage is a bit of a mess. There's just some stuff everywhere. And I'm currently just charging up the battery back there from the Legacy, because we got to move it. We're doing something with it. So that means she is coming out of the garage, which sucks. I feel like this car never properly gets to be winter stored. It just keeps on getting pulled out. But I got a car cover for it. I don't know if it's going to fit, but it will do for now. So let me show you what's going on. Gotta love the snow, so this is kind of why I need to get the STI out so I can actually work on this thing. But we are indeed rebuilding it. After many hours of thinking, I've decided I'm going to rebuild it, and I'm going to rebuild it with this 2005 Legacy GT. Now, you're probably looking at it and you're probably thinking, wow, this thing's really clean. Like, why are you going to rebuild yours when you got this clean Legacy in front of you? And at first glance, yes, it is very clean. Very, very clean. The worst of it has to do on the rear quarter, and it might be difficult to see, but it is bubbling up. And I pulled this back the other day. You can see there were some not so great repairs done. So that's not very cool. No, it does not. Yeah, that is the first thing I noticed, which made me not really want to repair the car. But the bigger thing is what I'll show you right now. So a younger guy owned it, or I bought it off a younger guy, and he had it for a couple of weeks, and you could see there's just been some weird things going on with it. Very weird. One thing I always check now whenever I look at a car is I open up where the spare tire is. And if I go and look under, it is full of rust. So I have a feeling this was in a rear end hit at some point. And I also noticed that the seam sealer here, it's not factory. There too. Which to some people probably isn't a big deal, but for me it kind of is. This car has 158,000, I want to say. And it comes with some goodies. One cool thing, has a sunroof. You can't really see. For anyone who cares, there's a Momo steering wheel, leather black interior, which I do think I'm going to keep for myself. What else? There's a cob access port. I have it inside the house. That is that. So it came with some WRX wheels. These came on, I think, the 2011-12 year generation. These are actually pretty nice. I'm thinking about stealing these and putting them on my Legacy because, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the Sparkos. I know some people are. It's just not really my style. So those are likely going to be for sale in spring because those are my winter tires and I'm going to need them. Underneath the hood, you could see that they tore apart the car just to check it for whatever issues. And honestly, this thing is clean. Like, I feel bad doing what I'm about to do to it, but I just feel like there's been some sketchy work done to this car, and I'm just not comfortable taking all of my stuff out and putting it in here. Like, I know that car is solid. I know what's done to it. I know what has to be done to it other than my front end hit. Like, underneath is solid. This, I have no idea, and especially with the trunk, I don't really want to risk it. Under here, I know the turbo. It's a VF52, so that I'm going to keep. That is eventually going to be going into that girl. I think that's the only really cool thing. The only other cool thing underneath here, NVIDIA downpipe, I think it's NVIDIA or Perrin catless up pipe, and it has main bearing failure, so that is why I got it for a parts car. But it also came with this brand new top mount intercooler from Grimspeed. This obviously I'm not going to need, so if anyone needs this, hit me up. It is 100% for sale. I'm trying locally first, but if anyone wants it, I can ship. That is not a problem. Oh, it has a Borla catback exhaust. It's pretty sick. I'm trying to keep it. I don't know if it's going to work out because I have to make all my money back. So if I end up parting out enough to where I can keep the catback, I will. Otherwise, I got to let it go, which sucks. but I'm hoping I can make a decent amount of change back. Time will tell. Let me show you it real quick. It's pretty nice. It's just that I believe it's the S type. I'm not sure, but it's clean. So I've heard sound clips of it, and I really like the sound. I really want to keep it, but it depends on if I break even or not. That will decide. I gotta turn the STI on, let her warm up, let her air up, get the Legacy off and out on the road. And that thing doesn't like to turn now because it's been hit. And pull the STI out, pull the Legacy in, pull the STI back in, and then hopefully move the parts car Legacy forward so then it's closer to the garage, easier for me to work on and all that. I'm really not looking forward to this. Okay. Let's see what she wants to do. I know she's not gonna like to start because the battery died, so we'll see. Okay, sounds a little better from before. Not so much grinding. Let's just back her up. That's the brake seized up. Okay, turn her off. I don't want to piss her off. The e-brake ain't coming up now. There we go. I'm just gonna shovel some of this. Let me let the STI warm up, see if we can at least get some air in it. Not sure if the compressors are frozen or not, but it gives me some time to shovel. Well, the compressor froze. So I have a heater in here trying to warm her up. Pretty toasty now. Let me see if she wants to start. Well, I mean, she's starting. It's just the compressors are frozen, so I can't go anywhere. And there goes my last fuse. Looks like I'll be picking up on this tomorrow. I could jerry-rig this and force it to work. I've done it before when I'm in a pinch. Whenever your compressors are frozen, they always blow fuses. At least mine does. Let me know if yours does. It's really annoying. So I'll be back when I got more fuses. Brand new fuses. Hopefully that helps. Who really knows? And for about probably the last hour or so, the heater's been running. So hopefully she's warm enough and this thing actually airs up. It's working. Well, she's in finally, the abominable snowman. It's probably going to take a couple of days, I would think, for this thing to like de-thaw and de-ice. I tried my best to scrape off what I could, but it's literally ice just from sitting here. So you got to look Canada for that. Like, this is just a straight up chunk of ice, just to give you an idea. I just want to explain a little bit more why I'm planning on rebuilding this car rather than putting the engine in that car. And if you remember the rear quarter where that, I believe it's called a dog bone, it's that plastic trim. Mine is literally mint. Like, I pulled it back just to show you guys. So that's the inside. And from what you could tell, or at least what I can tell, there's not a speck of rust. I don't know why I wouldn't rebuild this car. So like I was saying, another reason why I want to rebuild mine, just excuse the mess, is if I pull back where the spare tire is, not only is it all factory, it is clean. There is not a speck of rust. So I don't see the point in letting this car go. And I said it once, and I'll say it again. I feel bad dailying this car in the winter because honestly, I think it's worth actually building. Like, this car is clean. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, for having 230,000 on it, car from 2006, it is clean. It's been oil sprayed. That is why. So that is why I would like to keep this car in my possession. The other day, my buddy came over and he saw the car. I didn't tell him about it. And he actually made me laugh pretty good. My buddy Kyle, he was like, well, I guess Zach ran out of content, so he crashed his car. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. Maybe tomorrow I'll come back and throw a battery in the Parts Car Legacy because I have this Cobb Access port. I'm curious to see what tune is on it. I know Neutronics tuned it back in 2019. I think it was June or July 2nd. If anyone knows the history of the car, let me know. It'd be kind of cool. And I guess I will see you guys when I can start tearing apart this car. I think that's what I want to do in this video. I want to get this car fully torn down, just so I know exactly what needs to get replaced and all that jazz. So, be right back. It's been a few days. The car just would not meld. You could see the front hood. It's still frozen. Roof is pretty well melted, as well as the trunk. And the only reason for that is I stuck a heater in it. And it melted off most of the snow. But you can see it just froze. But that is okay. The hood is going to come off anyways. So that's not a big deal. I can just take it off, throw it off in the back. I have had some tools show up. So I got this really cheap air belt sander. I think it was like 50 bucks on Amazon. I don't expect it to be great, but if it works, cool. I got the spot weld drill bits. Now, I have used something like this in the past. Basically, you just drill your spot welds. So I'm saying we start tearing into this thing. Yeah, just get rid of all the garbage. Yeah, there's a little more damage that I've just been kind of finding that I wasn't really aware of, but it's not that big of a deal, I think. So obviously the radiator support was pushed in, which bent this up. And I'm now noticing this piece of metal here is looking a little bent. And one thing I'm gonna do when I am putting the new radiator support in is I'm gonna test fit everything with like the fenders and hood and all that. I'm pretty sure our AC condenser is no longer any good. And I think this piece of plastic, yeah, this was like hanging out of it. So I'm gonna say the AC is no longer good. There's probably no more Freon in there. So that's gonna have to come out. It's not too difficult to do. Our radiator is no longer straight. I'm gonna say that thing is junk now, which is really unfortunate. I'm really bummed out about that actually. This radiator, I was planning on eventually swapping over to the STI. That really sucks. Honestly, out of all of this, that is probably the hardest hit on me. Obviously, it sucks that I'm rebuilding it, but the fact that my all aluminum radiator was damaged, I'm pretty bummed out about that. This was pretty new. That's gonna come off. I don't think we're gonna be doing anything fancy for a while. We will see. I also pulled off the side skirt entirely so I can remove, I believe this is called the dog bone. So mine was repainted, and the one that came on the parts car is actually really good condition. So I will be swapping this out. So I figured I had a portion of it off, just pull it all off. I think I'm gonna go ahead, start dealing with these spot welds and see what I like. I wanna try the belt sander out real quick. I heard a lot of good things about that. See how it works. I've never used a belt sander, I've just used the spot weld bit, and that's worked pretty well for me. So let's give her a shot. That's that, and that was 4 spots. Honestly, it was not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Let me try the spot weld bits, and then I will make my decision. How's that? There you go. Other than drilling these out by mistake, that's not too bad. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm just gonna keep banging these out. The holes I made, I'll end up tacking that and welding those up, and then obviously oil spraying on the inside. And that's that. Let's see if I can get this done tonight. My radiator. I'm really bummed out about this. Oh, I'm pissing coolant everywhere. I'm happy. We made some pretty good progress, I have to say, in the first night of doing this. It's not bad, not bad. So we blew a breaker. I'll have to go switch that back on. That's why I stopped using the belt sander to clean up the tacks. So after using the belt sander and then using the spot weld bit, it just kept walking on me. It was being a huge pain in the ass. The belt sander actually was quicker, surprisingly. So I was going through, I was cleaning them up, getting them prepped for when we need to put on the new one, the new radiator support, which is from the donor car. So I went ahead, removed whatever I could. That is pretty well the damage that we're dealing with. Let me just show you a few things. Obviously, radiator support is off. I am going to tack those up and smooth them out when I do go to weld, so don't worry about that. They will get cleaned up, and then I'll make sure to oil spray from inside just so everything is spick and spam. Now, I took off the timing cover. I knew that it was damaged, and then me being a dummy, I was tightening instead of loosening, and I snapped it. So I'm going to have to pull off all of this and replace that. Now, that being said, I may hold off by pulling that all off, or I may do it. I'm really unsure. The plan was this summer, I was gonna pull the engine out of the Legacy and give it a refresh. That was the original plan. The engine has 230,000 on it. It is the original engine. I was gonna do head gaskets, all the seals, gaskets, whatever. Let this engine keep going and replace anything that needed replacing. Now, luckily, with the parts car, we have a full engine full of parts that we can steal and replace and just make this thing run a lot better. So I think that's going to still happen. I think over the summer, we're still going to pull the engine and just give this thing a full refresh. I think the car deserves it, honestly. So I think we're going to do it. Now, this is kind of scary. So see here? Now, obviously, the header is not looking great. That is an oil line that goes through your oil filter. That is pretty corroded. I don't really love that, and I'm a little worried. I don't really want to continue driving knowing how corroded this is. That's not cool. So I am going to call it a night. Let you guys sit on my bolt holder, which was our alternator cover, which is destroyed. My plan for today was to get it torn down completely, and I think we were successful. I did this a lot faster than I thought I was going to, I'll be honest. The parts car, I'm going to have to start tearing down. I don't think I'm going to film that, and the reason for that, it's basically what you just saw here. I don't see a point in filming that, and it's cold as shit. I find my camera batteries die as soon as I go outside in the cold, so I don't really want to just put that stress on the camera and just deal with that. And then I'm going to be cursing as is, so I don't think I want to be out there filming at the same time. So I think I'm just going to do that off camera. I'll store the parts like in the basement or something, and that's what I'll do. Once I get the radiator support pulled off and we can start mocking up parts, that is when I will come back and start filming for you guys. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I want to see this car up and running again. But that'll be it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's still a bummer that we got to do this, but it is what it is. I think it'll be worth it in the long run, and especially because we got this whole parts car. We can put a lot of good condition goodies on this thing and really revamp this car. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are. If you are excited to see more, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And take it easy.